or 4 times per year to prepare Korean food in the Göttingen branch. We prepare the food together, exchange experiences, get to know other people. And last time we prepared kucholpan. It's really delicious and definitely one of my favorite food. And the last activity of 2018 was the Christmas miracle, which is I guess the reason why most of you are here today, because you had been a volunteer in your own city and had worked a lot to promote the Christmas miracle through handing out flyer in the city or promoting the Christmas miracle on social media like Facebook or Instagram. So this had been a short overview of the activities from Göttingen, and these are also the overview for this year that we are going to do next.
Thank you. Next country we present is from Helsinki, Finland.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Kia, and I think I became a board member last year. But today I'm going to talk about IYF Finland. That has been going on since 2005. But we should start we should start with the Finnish youth, because that's what we're doing it for. So in Finland, young people are mainly focusing on friendship, studying, and group activities. We like events and stuff. But because Finland is very cold and warm, and its people are like that too, maybe because of the weather, and culture has had many problems because of the war, I think, that has come to older generations, and that has made the youth suffer a lot. So they are very closed, and they don't really share about their hearts that much, even to their dearest friends. So in Finland there's a lot of depression, loneliness, anxiety, and many ways the youth is trying to escape them. So underneath that, Finnish youth is still very creative and sincere, they're caring, and they have a lot of passion. And that's why we have been doing many activities in there. At first, it started very small. We had maybe very little people in there, maybe because of the cultural problems we have. But now we have started focusing on Korean classes, mind lectures, fellowships, and we try to open the youth's hearts so we can show them that they are cared and that they can learn to care themselves as well. And in 2012, we started doing Korean camps and went a little bit bigger from that, and then spread to summer camps, workshops, dance lessons, and other smaller things as well. And even though we are still very small, we are trying to find the best way to reach the youth and grow with that in mind. And what I think, and we have thought that we should for the future and do in the future, is focusing on accessibility so the youth can go to the events easier. So especially in the capital area, the Finnish youth are very like not easy to easy to go to places if not from a dear friend that has inspired them. So something that is easy to go and easy to see what IYF has to offer. Yeah. So then my personal recommendation would be open board games and game nights, movie nights, something where we can be like a family together and just learn to be together, not being on the audience or on the spotlight. And that is because of some of the youth might open up a little bit easier, and they're still the slower ones and they need our help. Thank you and have a good 19.
Thank you. Next country who will present is from London, England. Please welcome London.
Hi guys. How you all doing? Doing good? Okay. Okay. So my name is Fiona, and I'm the president for IYF London. So I'm just going to quickly and tell you a bit about London and what IYF is doing there. Okay. So I don't know what when you think of London, you might think about our red buses. We have the Queen, the royal family. And the population of London is 8 million. Yep, and going up. So London is a very busy city. The city never sleeps. So what has IYF done so far in London? We've hosted Korean camps in London, because Korean culture in London is quite popular, I think. Like, a lot of people are interested in like K-pop and K-drama, so we try to advertise the Korean camps to reach out to the youth. And as you can see, there's like the pictures, there's like many of us there, and we make Korean food, we make kimbap. And yeah, so with the Korean camp, we have the mind lectures, and in hopes to open the heart of the youth to enable them to join IYF and become part of our church, which has been effective. We've had new members in our church through the Korean camps. Even myself, I joined IYF with the Korean camp about maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, and now I'm here on the stage. Okay. What did I do? Oh. Sorry. Okay, so even though there's 8 million people in London, there is about 200,000 people that experience loneliness. And yeah, loneliness. And so there was an MP called Jo Cox, and she decided to do a commission in loneliness as a way to reach out to people that feel alone and have no one to talk to. England is an aging population, so there's a lot of elderly people, more than young people, who often don't hear from their family, and Christmas time they spend alone in care homes. So how does IYF help with that? We have our healing concerts, and our last healing concert was very successful, where we invited other churches and we spoke about family. And what we hope to do for the future is to branch out these healing concerts, not just to do it in our church, but to go to these care homes, our schools, and to get more people involved with the events. And you see in the middle, we did like the African a cappella, so we're embracing other cultures, not just Korean culture, African culture. And there in the bottom quarter, you see the 2 men holding hands, bringing across joy. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Next country who will present is from IYF branch from Madrid, Spain. Please welcome them.
ojos en ti. Aquel camino a la victoria fue vivir, rendirnos a amar, siempre nos guiará. Abre tus alas y prepárate a volar. Cierra los ojos y recuerda ese lugar y él te llevará. Tu corazón te llevará. Vamos, España, alza tu voz, grita con fuerza, grita ese gol. Juntos podemos poner corazón, todos soñamos con esa ilusión. Vamos, España, alza tu voz, grita con fuerza, grita ese gol. En nuestra piel decide el balón, por otra estrella en tu corazón. Mirando al cielo te quiero escuchar y que tu grita con fuerza, grita ese gol. Juntos podemos poner corazón, todos soñamos con esa ilusión. Vamos, España, alza tu voz, grita con fuerza, grita ese gol. En nuestra piel decide el balón, por otra estrella en tu corazón.
Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací. Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día, de ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. Vengo como loco por la vida, con el corazón latiendo porque sabe que tú estás. Ay, vida, que palpita de alegría, que me embriaga el sentimiento con tus besos más y más. Ahí tienes el embrujo de la luna, la belleza de una rosa y la tibieza del mar. Ahí eres vino dulce de las uvas, donde bebo con tus labios de la fuente para el mar. Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací. Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día, de ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. Ganas de vivir aquí a tu lado, a tu cuerpo encadenado, hechizado de pasión. Ay, nada, sin tu amor yo no soy nada, soy un barco a la deriva que no naufraga de dolor. En el perfume de tu aliento quiero respirar, y esa magia que hay en tu mirar. Ser el héroe de tus sueños, todo y mucho más. Quiero ser tu calma y tempestad. Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací. Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día. De ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací. Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día. De ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. ¡Mira! ¡Sí! Sin tu amor, sin tus besos soy un pobre corazón. Ay, 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 no me dejes sin tu amor. A tu lado no hay pesares, no hay dolor. Ay, 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 no me dejes sin tu amor. Que tu recuerdo siempre va por donde voy. Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací, Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día. De ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. Bulería, bulería, tan dentro del alma mía, esa sangre de la tierra en que nací. Bulería, bulería, más te quiero cada día. De ti vivo enamorado desde que te vi. Bulería, bulería.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful, unexpected performance. I think the dance was very enough to explain everything about Spain. So next, we have the last country who will present today will be from Paris, France. Please welcome them with a big hand.
Bonjour. Ça va? Do you understand, guys, what I say? Cool! Okay.
So we are
Start.
going to give you a little presentation of our country and what we have done until now and what we are going to do in 2019. Okay. First, let's talk about our country. Do you know which team has won
The World
Cup in 2018?
Do you know? It's France! Way!
Okay, that's
We're
right.
so proud!
And there is maybe a team, a football team you can love, I guess. Paris Saint-Germain, maybe. Oh. It's that. This one. Okay. This one. Yeah, we love sport in France, but we are also proud of our gastronomy culture. Yesterday, some of you ate some crepe. It's from Britain, a region in France. But there is also macarons, a lot of dishes, main dishes, wine and cheese. And you must know Paris, the Eiffel Tower, the uncountable museums, yeah. But there is also a lot of villages and cities in France that you can visit. When IYF France will going to do a program in France, you can come and we will give you, we will guide you in a sightseeing if you want. Okay, now my friend, we are going to present more deeply the association and some activities we did.
Okay, so now I will tell you which activities Irish students in Paris doing in our countries. we are part of an association which named Crayon. Do you know what is mean crayon? No? No? It's a pencil color. To make a beautiful drawing, we need pencil colors. Do you agree with me or not? Yes? So that's why we choose the name Crayon, because we are all different. There are some from Korea, some from France, some from Africa, and if we bring our own colors, we can make a beautiful drawing, and we can do better things together. I can tell Crayon is a branch of IYF because we are doing the same thing as IYF do. Okay, our objective is to promote Korean culture and culture exchange. We also work on personal development. It's very important because it's very important for knowing ourselves, and we bring joy to others through volunteer work. Now I will tell you which activity we have done last year. We visited a retirement home and put on a performance to bring happiness to the older people, as you can see on the picture. Okay. We participated also on the Christmas miracle in Paris and in Belgium. So we distributed flyers to encourage people to come to the performance, and we welcome and we shared the spectators. And we participated on a American dance named One More Time. Finally, we have done also a Korean cultural days in many universities in Paris, and we have done a performance like dance, a cappella, main lectures, and taekwondo. Okay, our plan in 2019 is to travel to Korea together, to learn Korean culture and to improve our Korean language. And also, we wanted to participate on the cultural dance festival and the World Camp. Thank you so much. Merci.
Thank you very much. Okay, we actually have one last country to present. IYF branch from Lithuania. Please welcome Lithuania with a big hand.
Hello. So I'm the only one here from Lithuania, so I will try my best to present this and to inform what is Lithuania and where it is. So many people usually don't know what is Lithuania or what is the name Lithuania, like what? Lithuania, what? So it's a small country, and it's like we have nearly 3 million people living here, and it's near the Baltic Sea, which you can see there, the green one. So there's 3 main states, which are called Baltic states, because they're near the Baltic Sea. And the biggest one of them is Lithuania. And you can see in the map, we are far away, the smallest one in Europe. And yeah, so the interesting part of Lithuanian history was that once upon a time, we were one kingdom with Poland. So if there is any Polish people, you might know that. Yeah, we were one kingdom, but sadly, some wars and obstacles in the relationship between kings destroyed the kingdom. So we were left alone. And as a small country, we are pretty much weak because we had a lot of occupations from Russia and that stuff. So that's a sad part of the history. And the funny part of Lithuanian history is that we had only one king, like all our living lives, only one king. And now we have only the first female president. So yeah, and she's kind of cool lady because she has a black belt in karate. So don't mess with her. And so that's the end of the history. I'm not sure if you understood something, but I tried. And as I said, our country is pretty small and not really strong, but we have some strength. For example, we have the fastest internet in the world. Can you believe that? We are small, but we are fast. Yay. The second thing, which is pretty sad, is that we might seem as a cold people because we don't see sun a lot, so we don't smile a lot. The second strength would be that our language is one of the oldest language in the world, and we came from Indo-European language group, and it's the hardest language to learn. Even for the local people, it's hard to learn it. And another weakness is that we have a huge number of people who leave the Lithuania because we don't have a lot of work here. And yeah, we're kind of weak. Yes, so the next one is IYF in Lithuania. We don't have branch in Lithuania yet, but I know that we have some Korean languages in university, so the people from school can go to university to learn Korean language. But we had Christmas miracle in Lithuania 2 years ago in 2017 and 2018. So I guess this is the start of a branch in Lithuania. And what would be the opportunities? So for us personal, I think that IYF could help to improve Lithuanians to think open-minded, to open their hearts, because the biggest part of Lithuanian youth are kind of cold-hearted people. So I think that the Mind lecture would be a huge bonus for Lithuania. And that's all.
Thank you all for your presentation. So those who didn't give your presentation, they will give tomorrow. So please give your PowerPoint slides to our staff members. So this time is also very important. We'll have a symposium again, this time about the IYF itself. So I invite the youth president of the IYF Europe, Juan Lee. Please welcome him with a big hand.
Hello everyone. We are really nervous now. I would like to introduce the presidentship of IYF. Miyama Pro, the vice president, Eunice mean the secretary, and I'm the president of the IYF. Thank you. Yeah, we are here to present the IYF as an international youth fellowship organization. How much do you know about the IYF? There are some people maybe who have been here for 10 or 20 years, but maybe there are someone who just came for this event first time. So we would like to introduce the IYF, and we would like to talk about the organization sincerely, and we would like to talk about with you guys all. Are you enjoying the camp? Yes! Okay, and at the end, if you have any question, you can just freely ask from the presidentship of IYF as well. Okay, so we are here to tell you what is IYF is all about, so let's start. First, we would like to here the agenda. So we would like to first talk about the IYF and the Good News mission as well. We'd like to talk about the Good News course program, and the IMEI is the International Mind Education Institution. We will talk about the programs as the student camps in Europe and the World Cultural Camp in Korea. And it's not working, sorry. But in this point, sorry. But after the camp, we would like to talk about the rumors you can hear, or we can hear about the IYF as well. Not just only in Europe, but in Korea as well. We'd like to freely talk about this issue, because I think it's very important for everyone, and you can face this issue wherever you are in Europe. And finally, we will finish our presentation with the Christmas Miracle Tour, and we would like to finish with our mission and goals with the IYF Europe. Is it okay for you? Yes! Thank you. Maybe you have seen this video, but I think we would like to watch again this video to start the presentation.
By serving one another. Imagine tomorrow's leaders putting the happiness of those around them before their own. Imagine happiness that comes from hope, not materialism and ambition. Imagine us having hope in our young people rather than despair. And imagine our young people changing the world by exchanging their youth for the hearts of others. Do you see it all come together? Good. Now you see what IYF sees. International Youth Fellowship, known as IYF, is the premier nonprofit organization dedicated to the spiritual, intellectual, and emotional growth of young people in each corner of the world. IYF provides the training and practical opportunities students need to overcome the challenges and difficulties of life, to think deeply, to discover that true happiness comes from the heart. And the world is now captivated with our unique approach to helping young people discover the power of their youth. Active interest and support from global leaders across every continent. International educators and dignitaries align with our tireless work to make tomorrow cleaner and brighter. Special events and summits. Mindset education. Overseas volunteering programs, cultural exchange, music and dance, leadership training. We're building the future, one youth at a time. So see it all come together at IYF.
Okay. So if you want to start with IYF, we have to start with the Good News Mission. And the beginning of the Good News Mission is the WEC, the Worldwide Evangelization for Christ, founded by Charles Stott. He dispatched American missionaries, for example, also Case Glass, to South Korea in 1956. And Case Glass and his associate missionaries, they established a missionary school where also Pastor Oksu Park was the first class graduate. And in 1972, after the American missionaries went back to their home countries, Pastor Oksu Park was entrusted with the missionary school, and he also established the Good News Mission, and he began to manage and lead the missionary school of the Good News Mission. And we can see the first missionaries were dispatched in Germany in 1989, and nowadays Good News Mission is active in preaching the Word of God all over the world. I want to read a short quotation of Pastor Oksu Park. This is regarding the beginning and genesis of IYF. 1995, a young man named Andy came to me, steeped in alcohol, drugs, and deviant behavior. I kept constantly praying for Andy to change. After a month of training him in Korea, he opened up to me and emerged with a new heart. Andy now lives a healthy, productive life in Colorado. In 2001, International Youth Fellowship was born through that unforgettable experience, and Pastor Oksu Park also found out that the youth, they need a deeper and a multidimensional view of the world and a bright heart before God in order to become the leader of the next generation.
Yes. So IYF is a global Christian-based non-profit organization dedicated to the spiritual, intellectual, and emotional growth of young people around the world. Through proprietary programs, events, and practical opportunities, IYF tries to create international awareness and cultural exchange, promote the value of meaningful performing arts, facilitate short-term and long-term volunteerism domestically and overseas, and develop leadership skills that are applied on a global level. Do you know the three mottos of IYF? What are these? Really good. It's on the slide as well. And let's just talk some keywords about these three mottos, because it's not just some words. But for example, the change. We would like to change the environments and societies. We would like to change the thinking, the heart, and the world as well. We would like to challenge the circumstances we have, the narrow-mindedness, and the physical, mental, and spiritual limitations that we have. And the cohesion with diverse cultures and values. We would like to understand and embrace the differences we have. And cohesion for heart-to-heart connections, and cohesion to define the leadership. And we bring a short message from the founder of IYF, Oksu Park. I think it can be the central point of the IYF mission, written by the founder. So IYF is a bright, vibrant festival for the youth of tomorrow. There is sharing and volunteering in IYF because its members can sacrifice for others and are freed from their own small world. IYF is a cradle of global leadership that nurtures strong hearts in all people and lifts them up to discover their dreams. Just as a star gleams through the darkness, the youth of IYF will become bright stars that shine throughout the world.
Big main programs in IYF is, as you all know, the Good News Corps program. The Good News Corps program began in 2001 under the slogan, exchange my heart for their youth. No, sorry, exchange my youth for their hearts. And in the first year, in 2001, the IYF dispatched only 14 overseas volunteers into 10 countries. But nowadays, in 2016, for example, for the statistic, we can say we are dispatching nowadays 5,000 to 5,700 overseas volunteers every year into 87 countries. This is a statistic from 2016. We dispatched about 5,700 volunteers into 87 countries from 431 colleges. And mostly the short-term missionaries, Africa is really famous or they like Africa. Like 34% went to Africa and 25% each to Asia and Europe. And also 25% to South America, and the rest 4% went to Oceania. So there are some impressions of the Goodness Corps programs.
Okay, thank you. Do you know the IMEI? It's the International Mind Education Institute. It's the partner institution of IYF. This is the slogan: a changed mind, a changed life, a changed world. There was a World Youth Ministers Forum in 2012 in South Korea, and ministers from more than 20 countries felt the limitation in knowledge of current public education. Thus, a joint declaration was issued suggesting an enforcement for character education. So in 2013, IMEI was officially established to make that will into reality. So the IMEI is the world's first character mind education, helps the nation's future and helps the youth to find their true values and goals in life. So we enforce suitable mind education in schools, military enterprises, so on. And there is a short video about the IMEI.
Assessment of education is based mainly on knowledge gained by students studying fiercely. With their busy lives, people are unable to spare time in today's competitive society. People are living without hope for the future. This creates social problems in the absence of education mindsets. Problems such as game addiction, school violence, alcoholism, drug addiction, divorce, crime, and suicide. Today's world is becoming ill. Changed minds give changed lives. Changed minds bring a changed world. Today the world desperately needs strong minds, moderate mindsets, and the intellect of change and challenge presented by the International Mind Education Institute. The International Mind Education Institute was founded in 1995 by people who know the importance of the right mind of education based on the experience gained from changing young people for the better. The Institute has analyzed many social problems from various angles and found that each country has and holds the key solution. In July 2012, at the Minister of Youth World Forum, a joint declaration for character education was issued, proposing measures to overcome the limitations of knowledge-oriented education. In 2015, the Republic of Korea, understanding the importance of character education, legislated the world's first Character Education Promotion Act to diverge from knowledge-driven education and enforce compulsory character education in public schools. In order to change the world, the International Mind Education Institute teaches these new mindsets to participants such as parents and family camps, students, teachers, professors, military personnel, business personnel, police officers, reserve officers, training corps, and public officials.
That he gave during the PPT presentation, it really sends the chills down my spine, and it really it's a very promising concept, and I believe that my faculty and my students, if they go through this experience, like today we have signed a memorandum of association MOU with IMEI, and I look forward to enrolling my students and all my faculty, which are in like numbers, 200 in number. I plan to enroll them for this fabulous course, and I'm sure that they will get something out of it, very productive out of it. I'm looking forward to it.
The International Mind Education Institute specializes in both character and mind education, presenting the proper ethos for a happy life of humanity. The organization systematically operates educator forums and mind education specialist training in many countries, as well as counseling programs in schools, military bases, government offices, industries, businesses, and prisons. After signing MOUs with global educational institutions, IMEI supports the establishment of mind education departments in universities and proposes vision and direction of mind education through academic exchanges, promoting active joint activities. The Mind Education of International Mind Education Institute cultivates strong heart to solve and overcome any difficulties people face in their life and help lead problem-free and happy lives. Changed minds give changed lives. Changed minds bring a changed world.
Okay, thank you. And regarding to Europe, one of our main programs are many diverse camps. I think you also attended one of these camps. In general, these are the IYF student camps. For example, we have the Korean camp. And in a Korean camp, we invite many Europeans to learn authentically the Korean language and Korean people, Korean culture. It's really authentic because you're among native Korean speakers. I mean, here is also like a little Korea, I think, for you. Some pictures of the IYF student camps, wearing traditional clothes, doing calligraphy, and yeah, having lots of fun. And the next main program in IYF is the World Culture Camp. South Korea is the host since 2001 of this big culture camp. This is the most biggest camp we have in IYF. And yeah, let's see a short info video about the World Culture Camp in Korea.
To work with the volunteers, and I was able to really dedicate myself to making this camp great. That's when I can see how beautiful this camp really is and how much IYF really cares about the youth of Korea, not only Korea, but the youth around the world. So when I was able to see that, I was really happy inside my heart. So the one thing that I have to say is, IYF is amazing.
This year, IYF Work Camp is so nice and new because there are a lot of different performance and a lot of dance and an academy, mind lecture. It's really, really nice. I want to come again, and then IYF has happiness.
IYF is an inspiration to the youth of this generation. It teaches students to look at the world in a new way and to change their mindset, to change their perspective. It teaches them to be leaders. So IYF is hope.
To describe IYF in one word, I would say is exchange. Because so many different cultures, different people, but to be able to change and exchange our hearts to become one, I believe IYF is exchange.
If you hear the sermon, you will get a new life. IYF is like a miracle.
For me, I think IYF is the definition of love because the youth in IYF, we come from the different countries, we have different cultures, different styles, but when we come together in IYF, our heart can become one. So for me, I think IYF is love. IYF is change. IYF is greatest gift. IYF is amazing. IYF is new power.
It's a magic. I love it.
IYF is wonderful.
IYF is fun.
But IYF is an awesome organization.
IYF good.
Excited.
IYF good.
Excited.
IYF good.
Excited.
IYF change. Challenge. Cohesion.
Thank you. Who wants to participate next year, this camp? Thank you. I would like to as well. And the next one is we will talk about these rumors about IYF. Maybe you might have faced already, or you can face in the future working with the IYF. So we'd like to discuss about this topic with Mia.
Hello, guys. Oh, thank you for answering. So, unfortunately, even though, you know, as you saw, we have lots of different really cool-looking programs and stuff, but on the flip side of things, there are rumors going on about the IYF, and we collected this kind of like a bunch of keywords that you might face, and Probably at least some of you have already seen these, and we would like to address these issues now. So, first of all, as you saw in the very beginning of this presentation, we are we originate from this church called Good News Mission Church, because the founder of Good News Mission Church, Pastor Oksu Park, he is also the founder of IYF. And as you saw the story of Andy, you know, Pastor Oksu Park, when he met this young man, and he thought, how could he help him? And he thought that maybe if he teaches him the wisdom, the mindset he has learned from the Bible, then this young man might change. And he did that, and to his amazement, he found that the life of this young man completely changed. So that's when Pastor realized that this is what young people really need. So Pastor Oksu Park, as he had read the Bible, he found something that he decided to name as the world of the heart. But this is not actually found only in the Bible, but we can actually see it everywhere around us. And probably, as you have already seen, like in our mind lectures, there are various different kinds of examples. Like, for example, one that comes to my mind is, for example, the rat park. Do you remember the rat park? Yes. So actually, many very successful people, these mentors, gurus, people who are like especially good at something, almost all what they say unanimously is that mindset is the most important thing when it comes to life. And just like that, the IYF is all about the mindset. And so even though we started from, we have been founded by this pastor, but we are a separate organization from the Good News Mission Church. We do have Christian values, which is, it is true. But the difference is that when IYF was founded, actually most of the young people who were part of now the word is not coming to my mind, the activities of IYF were mostly the Christian youth of Good News Mission Church. But then as the it picked up speed, then there would be other students coming from like other places, not church, but from outside of church, and just like normal people. And probably also here there are both types of people. And so this this organization is not to try to convert each and every person to Christianity, but it is that we have found this mindset, and so we have found this mindset that originally was found from the Bible, and as it was actually introduced to people, we saw how it actually started to work. And so that is basically what we are founded on. That's the basis, but then we have also many other things there. And so basically, when you hear these kinds of rumors about the IYF, that is one of the reasons why you hear those is because of the Christian background, because people are very sensitive when it comes to religion, as we all know. And in Korea especially, because the Good News Mission Church thinks about things a little bit differently than many other denominations, then they have been criticized, the church has been criticized, and that has transferred to IYF as well, because we are connected to each other. So to move on from there, okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So the purpose of IYF is to teach and cultivate young people so that they have healthy minds, sound minds, so that they can live happy lives and to be able to spread that happiness and that strong mindset to other people. Because I'm sure you all agree that if we have a sound mind, a strong mindset, then not only our lives, but also the lives of other people around us will become happier. Am I right? Yes, okay. So that is what IYF is all about. And so, for example, also I have faced actually these rumors as I have been in the IYF. Originally, I did not know anything about the IYF. I met IYF in 2010 for the first time. And I also got interested actually about Korean culture and Korean language. And I happened to find IYF Korean class, and I went there, and I had just like no clue what IYF is. But then, little by little, when I spent time with them, I started to get more and more interested, and then I went to Korea as a volunteer, as a GSE volunteer, like I told you yesterday. Probably most of you remember. Yes. So, and from then on, as I went to Korea and came back, I actually had a choice to make. I had a choice whether to stay or to leave. And one of the reasons why I decided to stay is that when I looked back at my life after that 1 year only, I could see a dramatic change in myself and my whole life. Before I met the IYF, I had a lot of actually mental issues. Many of you might be familiar with anxiety, for example. When I was young, my parents divorced, and I also got bullied in school. And as I grew up like that, I became very afraid of people. And I had many mental issues, and it was up to a point where my father actually admitted at a certain point in my life that he seriously considered whether to actually send me to mental hospital or not. He did not do that, but it was very close because he was really worried about my mental state when I was growing up. And but then when I met the IYF, only during that 1 year in Korea, I learned how to open my heart. I learned many things, like I introduced in my GNC presentation, and I could not help but to notice the change. And I could not help but to notice how much happier I was after coming back from that 1 year of volunteering. And so when I came back to Finland, I lived in a completely other place, which is quite far away from where the IYF branch in Finland was. But I decided to move closer to the IYF branch just because I felt anxious when I was not with them. So actually, IYF became something that I really, really needed in my life in order to be happy. And this is where I realized, like, this is something else. This is something special. And I'm sure that most of you have also felt the atmosphere, the friendliness, the family-like atmosphere that we have here. And what I would really like to say is that although there are rumors going on about us, you have experienced what we are, and I can truly say that that is truly what we are. So some people, actually many people, they say things about us without actually having experienced that much. And I've now been in the IYF for 8 years, and during that time, I've also heard many, many times all these different kinds of accusations about the IYF. But every time I hear those, what comes to my mind is that, well, my life changed for the better. I learned Korean to the level of being able to translate because of the IYF. I got into university because of the IYF. I got rid of my mental problems because of the IYF, and so many other things. So if you look at the fruits of an organization, a person, that's usually where you can decide whether this is actually truly bad or good, right? And especially in the long run, like first, most things might look good at first, but as you go on and on and on, then you might feel like, oh, there's something wrong here. But for me, as I've been here for 8 years, the longer I've been here, the more, the deeper I know in my heart that, no, those rumors are not true. Because if they were true, my life would be worse than it was before I met the IYF. And one last thing that I would like to tell you is that I've also met many people who initially met us, and they were doing fine, and we were having fun, and we thought like, yeah, we're friends. But then suddenly they left, and we were like, oh, what happened? And then when we asked and we found out that actually they had been hiding these things that bothered them about us in their hearts, but they had never ever brought it up between us. And so we had no clue if we were doing anything wrong. We had no clue that they were feeling bad. And so when we heard those things, we were really sorry because that's not our intention. But then also we were really, it makes you a little bit like, oh, what is this? Like you get a little bit shocked because you cannot obviously read other people's minds if you don't hear them say what they think, right? We're not mind readers, although we teach about the mind, but we cannot read your minds. So those people, they did not talk about the issues that bothered them. So I really truly hope from my heart that if you have any issues, then we are more than happy to discuss those things with you. And I hope that you would not think that we don't want to listen to you. Actually, we love to listen to your opinions and what you say. Of course, we also want to tell you why we do things that we do, the way we did, and it's all about the heart. And everything we do, everything in this organization, what I really want to say to you is that it's not for us, but it's for you. We are on your side. We are here so that you can live happier, so that you can overcome obstacles in your life. But this sometimes requires somebody to push you a little bit over your limits, because have you heard the story of how an eagle raises its kids? Perhaps somebody, yeah? So when an eagle hatches its eggs, when the eggs hatch, the little chicks, first they cannot fly, but then when they grow their feathers, the mother, what it does is that it actually pushes them off the edge of the nest, which sounds quite horrible, but the reason why it does that is that if it did not do so, the chicks would not learn to fly. And so the IYF wants to be that eagle mother, kind of, because we know that people, if they are not helped to be pushed over their limits, they cannot become greater than they already are. Are you agreeing with me? Thank you. So if you have any further questions about this, please do come talk to us, because we would be very interested and very happy to explain anything that bothers you. And we really, truly, sincerely hope that you would not keep that inside of you, but like be open with us, because we are open with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. It's quite important things, yeah, that we are talking about. I think it's really important to understand one organization. It's the root, the history of organization is quite important. And I think to judge something appropriately, it's really important to face and meet them personally. We can say anything on the internet, we can write anything right down on the internet, yeah, because we are living in a free continent. We have, it's not controlled by no one. That's why there can be anything that can be spoken by anyone. So that's we are facing them, we know them, so we would like to talk about it as well, because the communication is one of the key mottos of IYF as well. So that's why we wanted to talk about the basis of IYF. We wanted to talk about the mission and the purpose of IYF. I think this is quite important. We should understand why does one organization working like that, why it's maybe different from others, why they act like that, what is the purpose of this action. I think if we want to understand something, we can understand, because we are quite smart people, yeah? So if we want, we can. But if we don't want, maybe we won't understand anything. So that's why I think the intention, the motivation is really important if we would like to improve. And the another thing is that IYF is working like top-down and bottom-up method as well. So there is a board member, there are leaders, there are managers as well, but the IYF is established by students, and there are all students here almost. And we have the presidentship of IYF now, many countries, and there are all students. And we think like we would like to build up a group, we would like to build up a community in a bottom-up way. Do you understand this one? I think that's why the presidentship as well are students. Or so the last thing is that we can talk about this topic freely. You can ask anyone in the organization, and I think during the camp as well we're gonna have chance to talk about it. Okay, let's move on to the global partnership. So that's why the IYF is not just operating by itself. We have a lot of MOU partnership with a lot of countries, governments, other social organizations, and the local governments as well. So we have like more than 35 countries currently deploying volunteer service in association with several other global organizations and local governments. We would like to show some pictures. Here is the right side, you can see the founder of IYF, Pastor Oksu Park. And now he's meeting with many of the leaders of countries such as Eswatini, Kenya, Paraguay, Togo, and Malawi, so on. Sorry. So we would like to mention that not only in Africa, but in America, in Asia, in Europe as well, we would like to cooperate with other institutions, with other countries, other local governments, because we would like to reach more students, more people.
Okay, these red posters with the white letter Christmas Miracle is surely familiar to you, right? Do you already miss the Christmas Miracle feeling and vibes? Okay, me too. The Christmas Miracle began 2016. It's the third year where we are having the tour, and this year we reached about 30 cities from 24 countries. And we want to show you a short memorial video about this year's Christmas Miracle.
유럽. 어떤 이는 꿈의 여행지로, 어떤 이는 영화 속 장면으로, 에펠탑을 배경으로, 버킹엄 궁전의 아름다움과 콜로세움의 장엄함, 과거와 현재의 조화, 르네상스의 발상지이자 산업혁명의 시작, 다양한 민족과 그 문화를 품은 곳, 세계 역사의 중심이자 강대국들의 전쟁터, 화려한 문화유산과 그 속에 보이는 가슴 아픈 흔적들, 역사가 서로에게 남긴 상처들. 흔히 유럽을 생각할 때 화려함을 생각할지 모른다. 알바니아, 마케도니아, 코소보, 보스니아, 루마니아. 유럽이라는 이름 아래 감추인 가난하고 소외된 나라를 우리는 알지 못한다. 11월 4일 겨울의 나라 핀란드에서 유라시아 대륙의 끝 포르투갈까지 유럽 30개 도시에서 크리스마스 미라클 투어를 시작했다.
짧았던 연습 기간, 어색한 연기, 낯선 동양인들이 하는 볼품없는 공연들. 아무도 오지 않아도 이상하지 않을 우리의 공연이
We thought that nobody would come to our performance because we were so lacking.
유럽의 진심을 만났다.
But during the Christmas Miracle, we
감동은
could find,
좋은 연기,
we
멋진
experienced
무대에서 나오지
love
않았다.
and big emotions.
매 공연마다 실수의 연속이었고
At every performance, we did
무대가
mistakes.
연기가 관객이 바뀌었다.
But our
그러나
play
집으로
or our
돌아가는 그들의
performance
표정,
changed the people.
그들의 마음은
Their expressions and their happiness were always
표정으로
same.
행복을 말했고
They were saying happiness. They were showing
그들의 입으로
touched hearts,
변화를 이야기했다.
and they were talking about change.
투어의 시작, 우리의 눈은 부족한 우리를 향해 있었다.
At the beginning of the tour, we were only focused on our lackings and shortcomings.
그들을 향했고,
But when we saw the happy faces after the performances, their happy hearts also flow into our
우리의
hearts.
황무지 같은 곳에서 보화를 발견한 우리는
In Europe, we discovered
보화를 얻기
a
위해
precious
우리의 시간, 우리의 젊음, 우리의
treasure.
모든 것을 팔았다. 그리고 시간이 지나 우리는 이제 여러분의 마음에 품게 될 보화를 상상해본다. 여행자들의 무대이며 미디어가 보여준 화려함 그 중심에서 아시아의 작은 나라 한국에서 온 우리가 그들에게
We
행복을
are
줄
from a
수 있다고,
small country from
감동을 줄 수
Korea,
있다고
but we were able to touch people's heart in Europe, all over Europe, and this is also touching us.
보고 있다. 무엇과도 바꿀 수 없는 그들의 미소, 그들의 눈물을,
Their tears, their happy faces, their emotions
유럽이
were so valuable for us. They were waiting for us. We were small, but we changed a lot of countries. Now it's time to change Europe.
내 손 이렇게 잡으면서 진짜 고맙다.
He shook my hand and they said, thank you continuously. And it was so touching. It touched me really emotionally. So, all of you IYF members from the whole Europe, it's now your turn to change Europe and make a brighter youth and happier youth for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we'll have a dinner, have a lunch. We'll have a lunch. It feels like we have done so many things